Good evening, and thank you for attending this evening's meeting of the Cinnaminson Township Board of Education. I will now call the meeting to order at 7 p.m. Please join members of the board in a moment of silence. Please stand for the flag salute.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I will now call the roll. Dylan Burke. I'm Dylan, and I'm the Cinnaminson Middle School president. I'm an active sports player. I play soccer and track for CMS, and can it not hear me? Okay. And I like to hang out with my friends after school and spend my summers in Wildwood. Because I have Flamer.
Here, I'm the 8th grade vice president. I'm part of chorus, and on my free time, I like to run track and hang with friends.
Daniel Evans.
Here. My name is Daniel Evans, and I'm in 8th grade at CMS. I'm in Cinnaminson Select Singers and Student Senate.
Alexis Meenan.
Here. I'm in student council. I'm also involved in band, chorus, and unity club. In my free time, I play softball for the town.
Tyler Davis.
Here, I'm involved in basketball and track at CMS, and I also am involved in CMS chorus. And outside of school, I like to bake.
Edward Zambrano.
Here, I'm an active student. I'm active in student council, and outside of school, I play football.
Lucia Schlett.
Here, I am the Board of Education liaison for the middle school student government. I'm active in the school's dance club and orchestra. Outside of school, I play volleyball and enjoy volunteering at my church.
Jake Barbick.
Here in CMS, I like to take part in running the track, and in my free time, I like to play sports.
Catherine Smith.
Here. In school, I am a participant in student government, chorus, Cinnaminson Select Singers, and the guitar ensemble. In my free time, I play soccer and I play the ukulele.
Cole Caprivica.
Here. I'm Cole Caprivica, and at CMS, I am active by doing the Unity Club, Junior Cinnamonders, Chorus, Cinnaminson Select Singers, Student Council, and Chimes. Out of school, I like to play lacrosse, football, crew, and basketball.
Emmy Keyports.
In cross country and track. In my free time, I like to do gymnastics.
Public announcement by President. Statement is hereby made that adequate notice of this meeting was given by submission of said notice to the Burlington County Times, the Courier Post, the Cinnaminson Township Clerk, and the district website on January 6, 2022.
Dylan. We're going to do roll call. Mrs. Turner? Here. Mr. Bromhall? Mr. Evans?
Here.
Mr. Gaffney?
Here.
Ms. Iacombe? Here. Mr. Kenny?
Here.
Mrs. Quinn? Here. Mrs. Trompe?
Here.
Ms. Fitzwater? Here. Go.
There will not be an executive session at this time. Emmy Keyports, will you please request the approval of routine business of the business administrator?
Thank you, Mr. Burke. I recommend the approval of the following routine business. Board Secretary's report for September 2022, Treasurer's report for September 2022, monthly budget receipts transfer reports for September 2022, monthly transfer report for period ending November 9th, 2022, monthly high school activity report for October 2022, monthly food service management cost performance statement for October 2022, certified bill list for October 13th, 2022 through October 31st, 2022, and for November 1st, 2022 through November 9th, 2022. Approval of minutes for regular October 18th, 2022, and confidential October 18th, 2022.
Thank you, Ms. Keyports. Edward Zambrano, may I have a motion to accept the above reports?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Zambrano. Alexis Meenan, may I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Meaden. Are there any questions regarding the routine business reports of the business administrator? Hearing none, members of the board, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mrs. Turner, may I have a motion to approve routine business, section 4, letters A through H?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Trump. Comments or questions from the board? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Ms. Icone?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. Good.
Keziah Flamer, would you please request a resolution to approve the routine business of the superintendent?
Thank you, Mr. Burke. I recommend the approval of the following routine business of the superintendent. Enrollment report for November 8th, 2022. Health report for October 2022. Fire alarm report for October 2022. Crisis drill report for October 2022. HIB report for period ending November 8th, 2022. Now we will have the superintendent's report read by Catherine Smith.
On behalf of the Board of Education, I would like to thank all of you for attending tonight's regular board meeting. My name is Catherine Smith, and I will be reading the superintendent's report for this evening. This meeting, we recognize the Youth and Board Governance Day. Earlier today, my colleagues and I had a chance to visit Memorial School and learn about district operations. Also, last month, a group visited the Cinnaminson Township building to learn about township governance. These practices in civics education are a highlight in the district, and many thanks to Mrs. Linda Colella and Mrs. Allison Pallett for organizing these efforts. As we approach the quarter mark of the school year, there are many great things to reflect back upon. I am proud to announce a new partnership with the Cinnaminson Township Police Department. Police Chief Calabrese recently procured a product called the Child Print ID Kit. Parents of students at New Albany School and Rush School will receive these kits, where they are encouraged to obtain critical identification information about their child in the event that they go missing. Parents will receive a letter from the police chief and superintendent with further details. New Albany teacher Mrs. Maureen Kohler, who was selected by the New Jersey Department of Education as one of 181 exemplary educators in New Jersey. Mrs. Kohler demonstrates exceptional teaching and leadership abilities and has a positive impact on students, colleagues, and the school community. Congratulations to Mrs. Kohler on this outstanding achievement. Congratulations to the Rush School Students of the Month. Third grade, Noah Serino and Mrs. Sorrentino's class. Fourth grade, Andrew. How to pronounce one of the names? Pronounce one of the names. Halaskevich in Miss Zarzeki's class. In fifth grade, Ian Zemecki in Miss O'Flynn and Miss Lafferty's class. Specialist nomination, Maeve Weicker in Mrs. Crane's class, nominated by Mr. Baldessari, PE. Earlier today, the CHS band students hosted their peers from the middle school in celebration of the annual band day. Younger students had a chance to learn about the music department offerings at CHS, see and hear new instruments, and learn about the award-winning marching band. Thank you to Dr. DeSalvio and Mr. Buchanan, who coordinated a great event. November 13th through the 19th is American Education Week. This is a chance for us all to reflect on the wonderful educators we have here in Cinnaminson. Also, it is a chance for parents to catch a glimpse of their child's day with a visitation to the classroom. Today, parents had an opportunity to visit classrooms at New Albany, and they will have the same chance on Thursday to visit Rush classrooms. As a point of reminder to parents and the board, both New Albany and Rush schools are preparing to host parent-teacher conferences. Conferences will take place from December 5th through the 9th. Both schools will run single-session schedules through that week. Finally, members of the public are invited to join us for the next meeting of the Cinnaminson Board of Education, which will take place right here at Cinnaminson Middle School on Tuesday, December 13th.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. Edward Zambrano, may I have a motion to accept the above reports?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Zambrano. Jake Barbic, may I have second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Barbic. Are there any questions regarding the routine business reports of the superintendent? Hearing none, members of the board, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Ms. Trump, can I have a motion to approve section 5, routine matters, letters A through F?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Evans. Comments or questions from the board? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Mr. Evans?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved.
Next on the agenda is a report from the high school representative, Emma Schreier.
The Golden Apple Award for October was presented to Mrs. Susan Bennett by Jack Shallow. The students of the month for October are the following: Class of 2023, Kalina Liu; Class of 2024, Drew Paulette; Class of 2025, Brendan Fratto; and Class of 2026, Brooke Howe. The fall sports team seasons have ended. For football, the team ended their season with a record of 6-3, sharing the division title. Congrats to the players on a great season. For boys soccer, the team ended the season with an impressive record of 19-2-2. This included winning the division and making it to the semifinals of the NJSIAA playoffs. For girls soccer, they finished with a record of 8-8, making it to the first round of playoffs. The field hockey team finished with an impressive record of 14-3-1 and won a division title. The girls tennis team ended their season with a record of 6-6. Girls volleyball ended their season with a record of 14-10, making it to the second round of the NJSIAA playoffs. The girls cross-country team scored 9-2, and the boys cross-country team finished with a record of 14-0. At the state meet, the boys were the Group 2 runners-up for the second year in a row. Alex Boyko and Matt McCarron finished in the top 7. Also, of the 12 boys who made it to the All-South Jersey team, 2 of them are our Pirates, Alex Boyko and Matt McCarron. The Play Unified soccer team had a great season. Congratulations to all participants representing Cinnaminson. In their last competition of the 2022-2023 season, the Cinnaminson Marching Band competed against 25 bands for regional championships in the Hershey Park Stadium on November 14th. Coming in 21st place with a score of 77.45, our marching band is proud of the work of our young and growing band put into this competition and this season as a whole. The drum majors and seniors are more than happy to have been a part of this group for their last high school marching band experience. Although this season has come to a bittersweet end, the Cinnaminson Marching Band has high hopes for next year's season and plans to continue to grow as a community. For chorus, Emma Schreier, Nick Olson, and Chelsea Montpozniak represented CHS at the All-State Choir Concert this past weekend in Atlantic City, performing with the top musicians from across the state. They will get another chance to perform this Sunday at the New Jersey Performing Arts Center at 3 p.m. Congratulations. The CHS music ensembles are gearing up for a busy winter season, with many performances planned. It will culminate with our winter concert on December 22nd at 7 p.m. in the CHS auditorium. NHS members hold tutoring sessions every Tuesday in the library from 2:15 to 2:45. Students are able to get any academic help they need. NHS induction will take place on November 22nd, 2022 at 7 p.m. in the auditorium for current and new members. On October 18th, Interact students made over 200 sandwiches for Cathedral Kitchen in Camden, and they are making more on November 16th. During the week of November 14th to November 18th, non-perishable food items are being collected to bring to the Cathedral Kitchen. On Friday, November 18th, Interact students will be going to Urban Promise in Camden to help distribute Thanksgiving food items to those in need in the community. Finally, Interact is sponsoring a faculty dress-down day on November 22nd for the cost of $5 to raise money for Interact scholarships. Mock Trial held their first meeting a few weeks ago and is off to a great start. DECA almost doubled their membership this year and will be holding their second annual Students versus Staff basketball game on tomorrow, November 16th at 6:30. Student Council is donating 4 freezing turkeys toward the Jane Wellenbeck Fund. The STOP and SED members have entered the 12th annual National Red Ribbon Photo Contest. This year's theme is Celebrate Life, Live Drug-Free. Students, staff, and the community have been invited to vote for our photo until November 16th. The school that receives the most votes will win $1,000 for their school. Thank you.
Emma, thank you for providing a report of activities and events at the high school. Next, we ask Lucia Schlett to please provide a report of the middle school.
Good evening to all of you. Our October students of the month are Joan Acosta for 6th grade, for 7th grade Charisma Striegel, and for 8th grade Jack McGuff. The CMS Unity Club is running a snack pack fundraiser to support the Ronald McDonald House of South Jersey from November 14th through the 18th. Spring musical auditions for Crazy For You are this Thursday, November 17th at CMS. Take a Veteran to School Day celebration was held on Thursday, November 3rd. CMS students were encouraged to invite a family member or friend who is a veteran or an active member of the military. We had a breakfast in the cafeteria for our guests, followed by the Veterans Recognition Program, which included speeches, musical performances, presentation of colors, and a gun salute by the visiting VFW members. About 50 veterans attended the breakfast and ceremony. On Monday, November 14th, students in 6th grade visited a living history memorabilia display provided by the VFW Post 3020. And students in 7th grade participated in our discussion with the veteran hosted by CMS's own Mr. Welcher. Thank you, veterans, for your service and participation in our special events. CMS Select Singers are hard at work. They have been preparing to perform at the menorah and tree lighting ceremony at Wood Park at 6 o'clock on Saturday, December 3rd, and the Victorian Holiday Celebration on Saturday, December 10th at historic Smithville Park. CMS choir, band, chime, and string students are busy preparing for the annual CMS Holiday Concert on Thursday, December 8th at the CHS Auditorium. A successful fall sports season of cross-country, field hockey, and soccer has come to a close at CMS. The A teams in both girls and boys soccer concluded their seasons undefeated. Our student athletes made CMS proud, not only with their success on the field, but more importantly with their successes in the classrooms and in the hallways of our school. Our student athletes have made their coaches very proud with their efforts this fall season, and we look forward to more success in the upcoming winter season. Boys and girls basketball tryouts are taking place this week. Wrestling practices will begin on November 28th. Thank you, and I hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving with their families.
Lucia, thank you for providing a report of activities and events at the middle school.
We will now hear from Ms. Llewellyn, who will be presenting on Pirates and Pages to the board.
As Mrs. Llewellyn is over there, any board members who'd like to take a seat in the audience, the group will be presenting behind us, so if you'd like to relocate, now is a great time to do so.
I think so.
All right, good evening, everyone. Before we start the presentation, I'd like to introduce a few people from the Child Study Team who will be giving our presentation. I'm just introducing them. I have Gabby Roach, who is one of our learning consultants and case managers from the Child Study Team, and Julia Zemecki is one of our behavioral analysts on the Child Study Team. And I have Lily here, who is an honorary member of the Child Study Team and a celebrity in New Albany. So our Pirates and Pages program, Gabby and Julia came up with an idea, and I believe it was the spring of 2021, to improve the frequency and confidence of our youngest readers. So that idea turned into a plan that they presented to the curriculum committee back in December, last December, and that plan has now turned into our Pirates and Pages program. And without any further ado, I will let them explain what they've done so far. So turning it over.
Hello. So like Mrs. Llewellyn said, I'm Gabby Roach, and this is Julia. So this is just an update on the program and how it's been going and where we are right now. So this is the program. So like Mrs. Llewellyn said, the goal of the program was really to build confidence in our students with the reading. And we wanted to strengthen the literacy skills in the students, build the fluency and build the phonetic skills, and what better way with some special companions. So we wanted to bring Lily in, and we also have some other, another friend that has joined our school. They started today, actually, so we'll get to learn about them as well. So this is...
So just a little bit of background on Lily. My husband and I adopted Lily back in February of 2020. Right before the pandemic shut everything down. She is an American Staffordshire mix. She came to us from Georgia. Some of her favorite things, favorite food, chicken and pizza crust. Favorite toys, her ball and stuffy friends that she can, throw around. And she loves to play hide and seek at home. So her training, I started her training pretty much a month after we got her, about 12 weeks. She's been through 3 levels of training through Alpha and Omega Working Dogs in Morristown, right close by actually. So she's been through basic obedience training, intermediate, and advanced training. And we started back in August of last year, we started some environmental training and some pre-therapy dog training exercises. Oh, sorry. Come here, Lil. Sorry, we'll switch. So sorry. So her certifications, right now, Lil is AKC certified as a canine good citizen. She also has AKC Trick Dog Novice, which is just like a fun title. And she was certified through Alliance of Therapy Dogs in March of 2022. So talking about the program, where are we now? So back in April, we met with the teachers at New Albany, second grade teachers, and administration. We presented at a staff meeting, explained the goal and the purpose of the program and what we wanted to achieve and how we were going to go about that. This September, this school year, we met with the teachers and discussed schedules. Gabby was able to introduce some additional resources, so some ideas within the classroom of how we can incorporate Lily into their language arts time blocks. At this point, Ms. Jones, New Albany's principal, has become certified as Lily's second handler, which means I can bring her to New Albany and drop her off with Ms. Jones, and Ms. Jones actually can participate in the program without me being there. And in addition to that, Ms. Llewellyn is also in the process of becoming certified as an additional trainer, or additional handler, I'm sorry, so that in the event that I'm not available, Ms. Llewellyn could also step in and the program could continue. We officially started the program October 11th, and Lily began visiting twice a week. So each classroom has a visit twice per month. We had 13 classrooms, I think, to schedule, so she was quite busy in the month of October.
Sorry to interject for just a little background. It's for second grade classrooms right now, so that's the classrooms we are starting with. So it's all second grade that's getting to see Lily right now.
Yep. So within the classroom, within the program, students are given time within the language arts block. Teachers determine what the students are doing as far as if they're reading letters or reading certain books, or they get a choice of the book that they read to the students. Students are always they're allowed to opt out of the program. They don't have to read to Lil if they're not comfortable. If they don't want to that day, it's fine. Some additional events we've done, we went to back to school night, met parents, and we also participated in the Halloween parade. Ms. Jones was nice enough to let us lead the Halloween parade. And as Ms. Roach had said, we introduced a new handler and a second therapy dog today. Actually was their first day. Mr. William Brennan is volunteering with his dog Roxy to add to the program. So a little background on Roxy and Mr. Brennan. Mr. Brennan has a master's degree in counseling and has worked in education. Roxy is a 6-year-old greyhound who's also certified through Alliance of Therapy Dogs. And together they visit military facilities, varying colleges, education, different EMS staff and facilities. And just over this last year, they've had over 100 visits with their team. So he's very experienced and very excited. He was well received this morning. And who doesn't love 100%? We actually have 100% parental permission for this program. So every parent has agreed that their child is able to participate. We have a few that have allergies, and even with the allergies, they have special notes, but the teachers know that and they're aware of that, but they're still allowed to participate in some capacity. We do have a couple students that opt out, but like I said, it's allowed and that's okay, and we're not forcing this program on anyone. So,
When this started, the teachers just took off with this. The students were super excited, and it was just super kids loved it. So they all were, the day Lily came in the first day, every kid got to sit with Lily. They all got to read with her, and the teachers had just something planned. So the first day they started with letters. So they all wrote letters to Lily, and they got to read to Lily, and that was just an example. Also, they're incorporating Lily into the classrooms throughout the school. There's bulletin boards, there's in reading corners. There's just different ways that this is incorporated. So this is just one example. We love reading to Lily. That's just a corner where in one classroom, that's where they come and they read to Lily. Another example, we love the middle picture. Lily's laying down, the student's laying down, and they're reading, like, it looks like they're reading the book together. Another student's holding the book, so it's just different ways that they're reading together. Some students even hold and show pictures and they're pointing, so it's just an exciting way, and that was our goal, is to have students excited to read, and it gives them different, like, they're excited about reading, and that was our goal about this program, and giving them that confidence, and also different comfort levels. So you can see one day, like, they weren't too sure about it, so we let Lily sit, like, far away. Some kids just wanted to come up and pet her. Another group just were writing about Lily. They weren't reading, they were just working on writing that day, and just using describing words of how to describe Lily. And again, the teachers are determining the lessons and how they're incorporating her. Another way, so this was an example. So it's a letter from a student expressing comfort reading to Lily. So the letter says, "Dear Lily, thank you for coming to classroom. I love to read to you. You're my favorite dog after the dog I have at home. I feel way more comfortable reading to a dog than a person. Love, Anna," to Lily the dog. So that's just an example of, like, the purpose of this program, that it's building that comfort. And then another example, a child asking Lily to help her with reading. So I'll read it, it's kind of small. It says, "Dear Lily, hi, my name is Paige. I like to swim, play outside, do art. My favorite color is pink. I like to eat pizza and drink Gatorade. I like to go to the beach and read a lot of books. Can you help me with reading hard words? I can't wait to meet you. Love, Paige." So that was just another example about this program and how we're hoping that it helps build that confidence in reading. And then just more examples. The teachers use this program just to start, like the first month, they used it as a writing lesson where they did a draft writing, they did a final copy, and then they put it on the walls, and it's just like used it as a writing lesson as well. So they're not using it just for reading, they're using it in different ways throughout the curriculum. So that's just more examples. And then just more pictures of how it's been used so far. And it's only been, a month? It started October 11th. And then another example was center. So once it got started, teachers used it as daily 5 rotations. So the kids knew part of the rotation is read to Lily. So it's just part of how they're using it. So
again, we attended back to school night. She did dress up for Halloween. I said she's very tolerant of my antics. So we got to lead the parade. So this was just some of the feedback, and I don't know if it's large enough to see, but you can see it's October 13th. So this was after the first visit. These are the responses from parents posted to Miss Martin's classroom. And one says, "This is awesome." Others they're hopeful that other schools will mirror this program. It's such a wonderful program. The kids are so excited to read. So really, again, that was part of our goal and our purpose for this program, was to get kids excited to read. Give them a place where they feel safe and confident, and again, be excited to do something that sometimes some kids might not be thrilled about. So what are our next steps? So we plan to meet with the teachers in January to do a check-in to see what could be improved, what is working, what changes need to be made. And then we'd also like to evaluate our options to expand the program in the future to other schools within Cinnaminson, and to work with our colleagues to kind of assist that if that comes to light. So thank you so much for your time.
So while we're still at the podium, any members of the board, either board, if you have a question for our folks or comments?
What do you do as like a handler for Lily? Like, what do you have to just like make sure she doesn't get upset with kids?
Yeah, as her handler, I have to be with her at all times. Like, I can't just let her go to the classroom by herself. So I have to make sure she's following her rules as well, and listening and and is calm and patient with the students, yes. Yep.
Good question. We have time for one other question.
Why did you start with second grade in general?
Good question.
Well, second grade is a very important year for reading. A lot of phonetic, like the decoding and fluency. So that was a year we wanted to build that confidence in readers. So, yeah, that was.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
They're never gonna bring it. There's no way they can bring it to CMS or CH.
Has any member of the board received correspondence that they wish to share? We will now hear a Finance Committee report from Alexis Meenan. Oh, sorry.
Anyone on the board have any correspondence to share? No.
We will now hear a Finance Committee report from Alexis Meenan.
The Finance Personnel Committee meeting is November 2nd at 4 p.m. on Google Meet. The committee reviewed banking proposals, the June 2022 audit, and the upcoming budget process. Mr. Capello reviewed current openings in the district, our district pay rate for substitutes, and the possible need for another preschool teacher. The next meeting of the Finance Personnel Committee has not been scheduled at this time.
Thank you, Alexis. Daniel Evans will now read a negotiations update from the board.
The Board of Education has established an ad hoc committee for the purposes of engaging in contract negotiations with the Cinnaminson Education Association. The board's committee is comprised of Mr. Fitzwater, Mrs. Turner, Mrs. Lacone, and Mrs. Trampet. The committee and the team from the CEA held their first face-to-face negotiation session on Monday, November 7th. The two parties had a brief follow-up meeting earlier this evening. The committee is pleased to report that to the full board that the two sides are working together toward a swift and amenable agreement. The board's committee appreciates the hard work being done by those sides to ensure that a fair contract is settled as soon as possible.
Thank you, Daniel. Are there any members of the community wishing to speak on action items appearing on this agenda? If
Mr. Gaffney, can I have a motion to approve the committee reports, section 9, letter A?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Trompe. Comments or questions from the board? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Ms. Iacone?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. Okay, good night.
Are there any members of the community wishing to speak on action items appearing on this agenda? If so, please approach the podium and give your name and address.
Just as a point of clarity, this is the portion of the meeting where you can be commenting on agenda items. There will be a second comment portion on any items later in the meeting.
We will now review the superintendent's certificated staff personnel recommendations. Ms. Smith, may we please have your report?
Thank you, Mr. Burke. Board members have received a copy of the personnel recommendations with their agenda. The certificated personnel recommendations are as follows: appointments/reappointments 1 and 2, retirements/resignations 1, teacher overloads 1, advancements on the salary guide none, extra duty appointments 1 through 4, leaves of absence 1 and 2, substitute teachers/nurses 1 through 5, tutors 1, student teachers 1 and 2, mentor teachers 1. Mr. Burke, I would like to ask for a motion to approve the certificated personnel recommendations.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. Daniel Evans, may I have a motion to accept the superintendent's recommendations?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Evans. Tyler Davis, may I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Davis. Are there any questions in regard to the motion? Hearing none, all members of the board in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Kenny, can I have a motion to approve section 11 personnel certificated letters A through J?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Trompe. Comments or questions from the board? Okay, Ms. Quinn. Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Mr. Evans?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. Yeah, Bill.
And before we proceed, we have a fun little tradition here in Cinnaminson whenever possible. When we hire particularly new members of the teaching staff, we invite them to come before the board so that we can meet the new person, whereas in this case, as we're going to learn from Ms. Melcher, this individual may not be so new to Cinnaminson. So Ms. Melcher, if you would, please.
Good evening to the members of the board. I'd like to introduce Mr. Dan McDonald, our new hire for the language arts position at Cinnaminson Middle School. Mr. McDonald is a Cinnaminson graduate who went on to Rowan University for his Bachelor of Arts in English as well as his Master's of Science in Teaching. He came to us as a long-term sub during the height of the pandemic and did a fantastic job. We are so excited to welcome him back to Cinnaminson. Mr. McDonald.
We will now review the superintendent's non-certificated staff report. Ms. Smith, may we please have your report?
The following are non-certificated personnel recommendations. Resignations, retirement, suspensions, terminations 1 and 2, leaves of absences 1 through 4, appointments, reappointments, adjustments 1 and 2, extra duty 1 and 2, transfers none, job descriptions none, substitute/volunteers 1 through 5. Mr. Burke, I would like to ask for a motion to approve the non-certificated personnel recommendations.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. Tyler Davis, may I have a motion to accept the superintendent's recommendation?
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Davis. Keziah Flamer, may I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Flamer. Are there any questions in regard to the motion? Hearing none, all members of the board in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Ms. Quinn, can I have a motion to approve Section 12, personnel non-certificated, letters A through G?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Turner. Comments or questions from the board? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Mr. Evans?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion approved.
We will now review the Director of Curriculum and Instruction's recommendations. Mr. Caprifico, may we please have your report?
Thank you, Mr. Burke. Board members have received a copy of the curriculum and instruction recommendations with their agenda. These recommendations are as followed. Professional development, field trips, instruction materials, none, curriculum. Mr. Burke, I would ask for a motion to approve the curriculum and instruction recommendations.
Thank you, Mr. Caprifico. Lucia Schlett, may I have motion to accept the Director of Curriculum and Instruction's recommendation?
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Schlett. Tyler Davis, may I have second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Davis. Are there any questions in regard to the motion? Hearing none, members of the board, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Ms. Sycombe, can I have a motion to approve Section 13, curriculum and instruction, letters A through D?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Gaffney. Comments or questions from the board? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Mr. Evans?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion approved.
We will now review the Director of Special Services recommendations regarding special education. Mr. Barwick, may we please have your report?
Thank you, Mr. Burke. Board members have received a copy of the special education recommendations with their agenda. The recommendations are as follows. Contracts, none. Student placements, 1 and 2. Consultant agreements, none. Mr. Burke, I would ask for a motion to approve the special education recommendations.
Thank you, Mr. Barwick. Tyler Davis, may I have motion to accept the superintendent's recommendations regarding special education?
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Davis. Daniel Evans, may I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Evans. Are there any questions in regard to the motion? Hearing none, members of the board, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Evans, can I have a motion to approve Section 14, special education, items A through C?
So moved.
Second? Second. Thank you, Mr. Turner. Comments or questions from the board? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Ms. Sycombe?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion approved.
There are no policies on the agenda this evening. Next, we have the report of the Board Board Secretary, Business Administrator recommendations. Ms. Keyports, may we please have your report?
Thank you, Mr. Burke. I would like to request a motion to approve the following items. Grants 1, Finance 1 and 2, Operations 1 through 4, and Contracts 1 through 3.
Thank you, Ms. Keyports. Keziah Flammer, may I have motion to approve the recommendations of the Board Secretary, Business Administrator?
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Flammer. Tyler Diaz, may I have second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Davis. Are there any questions in regard to the motion? Hearing none, members of the board, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Ms. Trompe, can I have a motion to approve Section 16, Business and Finance, letters A through D?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Quinn.
You're welcome.
Comments or questions from the board? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Ms. Icahn?
Aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved.
Is there any other old or new business for the board?
Dylan, thank you. I'm actually going to step in for just a second. Not used to having to walk over here to be heard. So, first off, our young people are doing a fantastic job. I really appreciate everything you did today, and you're really shining as Cinnaminson has come to expect from the folks who serve in your role. I'd ask Ms. Fitzwater, President of the Board, to come join me, and I'd also like to ask a gentleman in the audience, Mr. Jim McGuckin, if you wouldn't mind coming up here for a second. Wherever you're comfortable. You knew this was coming. So earlier today, we met in the board conference room over at the Memorial School, and I had an opportunity to meet with the students and talk about what it means to work in board, governance, and school leadership. And always one of my favorite questions that I ask to the students is why? Why be a board member? Why do folks serve on the Board of Education? And brainstorming, as great Cinnaminson students would, they came up with some really good responses. There were a couple misconceptions about just how much board members get paid, right? We settled on that, whatever it is, it's, don't but we talked about the other, the real reasons that people serve as a part of the community. Mr. Jim McGuckin was a member of the Board of Education for 20 years. That's something that you don't see in most communities, and you don't see in many boards all over the state. That's 20 years of service to the students of this community. We graduate about 200 students a year, so he has been there to shake hands and to welcome scores of graduates who have gone on to do great things in the community, even some of them who've come back to us. Mr. McGuckin is a professional. By all means, he is well regarded in his professional community. He is a tradesman with multiple certifications and is well revered throughout not only this region, but nationally. He's in charge of multi-million-dollar projects and given infinite responsibility in the professional sector. Yet he never let that take time away from his duty and service to the students of Cinnaminson and to his colleagues on the board. Jim's motto always was, whatever I can do to be of service to you, Steve, to you, Laura, to you, the members of the Board of Education, and most importantly, to the students of Cinnaminson. He has a proven track record of success and has helped and was instrumental in taking this district through a number of changes. Mr. McGuckin is an expert in all things related to business. He was the previous chairperson of our Buildings and Grounds Committee and has been instrumental in lending his professional ear to many construction projects. And of note, I should mention the 2014 referendum where Mr. McGuckin was instrumental in offering his insight into the construction projects. He has seen this district through many, many projects and most recently capped off an extraordinary career by being instrumental in the expansion of our full-day kindergarten program and meeting the facility space to accommodate that. I'm very proud to call him a colleague on the board or a former colleague on the board, a pillar of the community, and more importantly, a friend to everyone in Cinnaminson, me included. So students on the board, this is certainly a role model that you can look up to in terms of service to your community and someone that you can model your service after. And getting started here tonight, we look forward to, hopefully some of you are inspired by this gentleman's service to Cinnaminson community. So if you join me in a round of applause for Mr. Jim McGuckin. A true gentleman in service to Cinnaminson. Congratulations, Jim. Thank you. And Mrs. Fitzwater, if you wanted to present him, we'll get a quick.
your years of service to Cinnaminson.
You two could grab a picture. We'll get it. All right, now I'll turn it back over to the stars of the show. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now recognize members of the public who wish to address the board. If you wish to speak, please approach the podium and give your name and address. We will now have comments from board members.
He was just taking another pause in case any members of the public wish to offer comment on any items not appearing on the agenda.
Yes. I was good with that section there.
So if you would, please, when you approach the podium, if you could state your name and address for the record.
Brittany Relvis, Cinnaminson, New Jersey. First of all, shout out to all you guys up here. You're looking so dapper and nice. And your outfits, you guys did amazing. You all talk very well. Should be proud of yourselves, okay? Second thing I want to just say, the Pirates and Paws program is amazing. It really is. Coming from a parent who has a second grader who is struggling with reading, leaps and bounds. I think another important thing we forgot to mention is how important this is fostering that relationship between a human and an animal, I think is huge. So huge shout out. My comment was up there. I think more districts should mirror off of Cinnaminson. Couple things I want to say. First thing is, I don't know if it's just me, but when you try to find the meeting minutes and the agenda items and everything attached, it's very hard to find and navigate. The HIB report has not been attached from what I can see the last two meetings, so I'm asking someone whose job that is to make sure those documents are getting to that docu-source or whatever it is, because I can't view any of the reports. All I can see is the crisis emergency drill or whatever these guys did. So someone could follow up with me. You guys know how to get in touch with me. Congrats to the two incumbents. Excited to work with you guys. Huge shout out to Kate. I think this is going to be huge for you kids, especially to see a 22-year-old strong female to talk and speak for you guys and really connect. I think it's going to be wonderful. So shout out to her. I heard a lot about Gloucester County in the last couple weeks or months, so I did some digging about Gloucester County. Came across a TikTok account of a teacher who has over 350,000 followers. I mean, you all know TikTok. That's a lot of followers, right, for a teacher? She's got over 15 million likes on her videos. So she teaches at a Delsea Regional High School. And although I don't agree with everything that she posts on there, I will say she had a video the other day about the wellness room. Some people may be familiar with that district more than others. And would love to bring those things here to the Cinnaminson district. Check it out. My Teacher Face TikTok, shout out for her since we're on YouTube. I really think it would be a huge addition for these kids. These kids need somewhere to go to decompress. And a great part about this room, the teachers need a spot to decompress. And 2 days a month, the teachers get massages in this room, okay? All right, teachers, you hear me, right? So I'm just saying, I really think that we can start, looking at other things and doing big and better for you guys here, because at the end of the day, you guys are our future. So keep doing what you're doing, all right? Have a good night.
Any other members of the public who would wish to address the board at this time?
Okay. We will now have comments from the board members.
Good evening. Thank you to Mr. McGuffin for 20 years of dedication service to the children, staff, and community of Cinnaminson. You certainly have left a positive impact on all of us. Congratulations to all the students of the month. Congratulations to our high school band director, Dr. DeSalvo, on the birth of his daughter, Evangeline. Congratulations to all of our fall sports teams. You represent Cinnaminson well. Thank you for the Pirates and Pages update presentation. Shout out to the Cinnaminson High School Marching Band on a wonderful year. Best wishes as you plan future performances. Wishing everyone a happy Thanksgiving. And we'll see you at our next regularly scheduled board meeting on Tuesday, December 13th, 2022 at 7 p.m. right here in the middle school cafeteria. Information can be found on the district website.
I'd just like to add on to Ms. Turner's comments and thank the members of our board in front of us here. Thank you for your time tonight. I know that this is something you could be doing other things and you chose to be here. So I hope that your experience here tonight and on student council helps you to understand just how much community service matters. Thanks.
All right. There will not be an executive session of the board. Board members and community are reminded that the next regular meeting of the board is scheduled for Tuesday, December 13th, 2022, with the regular business meeting beginning at 7 p.m. in the middle school cafeteria. Alexis Meenan, may I have motion to adjourn this meeting?
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Meenan. Daniel Evans, may I have second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Evans. I request a roll call vote. Dylan Burke, aye. Keziah Flammer?
Aye.
Daniel Evans?
Aye.
Alexis Meenan?
Aye.
Tyler Davis?
Aye.
Edward Zambrano? Aye. Lucia Schlett?
Aye.
Jake Barbic?
Aye.
Can I have a motion, Ms. Turner, can I have a motion to adjourn? Second? Second. Thank you, Ms. Trompe. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting is Dylan.
Thank you for attending the Board of Education meeting for Youth and Board Service Day. Good night. That was a
Thank you. We're going to take a quick picture real quick, so we're going to try to compress everybody into the middle. So there's an open seat, get into it, and push all your chairs really close together, and then we're going to take individual shots real quick. And then like
Sorry. You guys do that. We'll just stand behind our peeps.
stand behind your person.
Taking our chairs.
Come on, slide, Dylan, slide all the way in.